Today I did something I didn't think I would ever do. I sold my Klipsch RF7 version 3s. Now in this video, I'm going to share with you why I sold them and what I upgraded to in my 2-channel setup. So if you've been following the channel over the past 5 years, I have owned over 50 Klipsch speakers. I've loved Klipsch for a long time. When I first got into audio, I heard the RF7s, the original 7s, which were about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and they were absolutely phenomenal. So when I began building my home theater, I actually wanted to buy the RF7s, but they were being discontinued and they were changing those out and replacing those with the RF7 version 3s. So at that time, I reached out to a local integrator and home theater company and offered to redesign their website in exchange for them purchasing the RF83s. We made the arrangement, I built their website, and they sent me the 83s, and I enjoyed them in my system for several years. A few years later, I bought this entire Klipsch RF7 version 2 series system, and I paid about $2,000 for it. At the time, MSRP was about $6,500. I bought it used on Craigslist. I rocked the RF7 IIs in my living room setup for many years, and then I gave those to my son when I upgraded to the RF7 version 3s. Now, I've reviewed a lot of speakers here on the channel over the past 5 years, and there was really nothing that I felt that I wanted to replace the RF7 3s with. Not to say that some of those speakers didn't outperform them, they just fit my needs, they fit in our decor, they slam with those dual 10-inch drivers, and of course they've got more volume than my ears could handle. Now before I share why I sold the RF7 3s, I want to give a big thanks to our Platinum channel sponsor, Arundel Sound. When it comes to movies, there's nothing like having a subwoofer that is capable of pressurizing your room and adding massive tactile response that you can feel. Whether you're looking for a compact sealed subwoofer like the 1961 Subwoofer 1S, its bigger ported brother the 1723 1S, or their flagship monster, the 1723 2V, Arundel Sound has got you covered. And with the risk-free 60-day audition period, free shipping, 1-year upgrade program, and a 10-year warranty, you've got absolutely nothing to lose. Check out Arundel Sound to take your home theater to the next level. Now, a few years ago, I was pretty close to selling my RF7 3s and buying the MartinLogan 60 XTIs. They were gorgeous speakers. I really loved the mid-range. It's a 3-way design, has a dedicated mid-range driver, and I really enjoyed that folded motion tweeter. So here we are a few years later, past that review, and I'm back to the same decision. MartinLogan sent me the F200 series speakers, and it brought me back to those 60 XTI. Had the similar sound, beautiful mid-range, good solid bottom end with the triple 8-inch drivers, and they were white. And here's the thing, Jessica has been redesigning our living room and our kitchen and our breakfast nook, and so there's just a lot of white now over the past year in our home. And so those cerometallic woofers and the cherry finish were starting to look out of place as it is. So I even did a video with Jessica getting her initial impressions when I unboxed the F200s.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4 speakers and then a tweeter. I got it right.
We're gonna test her knowledge. All right, what is this?
A tweeter.
Okay, what is this?
A speaker.
What do you think it produces though?
Subwoofer.
No.
No, that's the sound. The subwoofer is probably down here.
Kind of like that. So those are woofers, that's a mid-range, and that's a tweeter.
Oh, okay.
So you got lows, mid frequencies, and high frequencies.
Nice.
Not bad. She knew what a tweeter was, so I'm excited. And to my surprise, it wasn't an absolute no. She actually said,
I don't know. I mean, I might like them better. I don't know. I like this.
okay, so you like the logo?
And this speaker grills.
Yeah.
And it's not,
So can we leave the grills off?
no,
Okay.
no.
So you like the speaker grills on?
Yeah.
Even with the Kevlar?
I don't know what a Kevlar is, but
And so it was interesting that she actually found a pair of speakers that visually looked nice to her, and that's a win. Now, I've been enjoying the F200s now for the past couple of months, and I'm just falling in love with them. Man, I love the styling of them. I love the sound that I'm getting from them, especially just in a 2-channel setup. My living room will probably never be a full home theater setup because I've got that here in my dedicated theater room. Jessica doesn't want more speakers in the living room. That's why we built this room here. Now, I'll continue to review a lot of home theater stuff in my living room because I know a lot of you guys have a living room setup and you don't have a dedicated theater room like I do. But what I'm finding with these F200s is they have a better mid-range, just like the 60 XTIs. I knew it back then. I just wasn't willing to let go of Klipsch because I've had so much kind of, I don't know, so much history with the brand. I've always loved the sound from it. I love the styling of it. And I just wasn't ready to let go at that time. But I moved the RF7 IIIs into my daughter's bedroom just out of the way while I reviewed the F200 series, and I've just been enjoying them. And so with the others out of the way, my brain could actually picture what would this room look like without them. And so just a few nights ago, I reached out on Patreon and I said, hey guys, I finally decided to sell my RF7 IIIs because I always list anything that I'm selling on Patreon first, just as a way of thanking my supporters. So I gave them a few days, and with no interest there, I went ahead and listed them on my personal Facebook page as well as Marketplace. And immediately I get a text from a friend of mine and he says, I think those would look good in my bedroom. Now, my buddy Anthony, I've known him for several years. We even did a home theater tour in his setup probably early on, probably even 5 years ago on the channel. And so he reached out to me and he said, hey, I've got the RF62s, which are a much smaller speaker. Now, they only have dual 6.5-inch drivers and they're pretty short. And then not only that, they have a lot smaller tweeter. And it's just not this big, massive compression driver that the RF7 IIIs have. And so he was asking me, would it be an upgrade? And I said, absolutely. The dual 10-inch drivers have a ton of bottom end, especially when you give them good solid amplification, but they're so efficient you can easily run them off just a 2-channel AVR. So I boxed them back up this morning, drove them over to Tampa, and delivered them to their new home. So here you can see in the new bedroom, they're right beside the RF62s. Man, these 62s look so tiny. They look cute compared to the RF7 IIIs. And what was really cool, he wasn't sure if it was going to look right, but even his wife said she really liked the styling and look of the new speakers. Now, my buddy Anthony not only has a dedicated theater room, he's got a nice monitor audio system in his living room, he's got some nice headphones, so he really loves music, but he also loves cars. And today he took me for a ride in his Tesla Plaid. Now, over the past 5 years that I've known Anthony, he's always loved cars as well. And so he's taken me for rides in his R8 from Audi. Crazy. We're gonna go for a ride. This thing is sick. He had a Ferrari at one point, and then now he's got the Tesla Plaid. Now, each one of those cars were absolutely ridiculously fast, but he said, Michael, you are in for a treat. This is gonna blow your mind. And I've watched a lot of videos on people doing ludicrous mode. We're talking 0 to 60 in about 1.9 seconds. And so I had the opportunity today to experience ludicrous mode. Man, it was phenomenal. I loved it. It was awesome. He said, do you want me to kind of ease you into this or just go ahead and give it to you? I said, dude, go ahead and hit me with it, man. So I just put my head back and it was like, ooh. I'm like, oh my goodness, dude. It was such a rush, but we just had a great time hanging out with him, checking out his new Tesla. and then listening to his new RF7s. He's super excited. I'm glad they went to a great home and to a friend, because I know he'll take really good care of them. But I'm super excited about the F200s in my 2-channel setup and what they bring to my living room system. Now, of course, I'll have a full review on the MartinLogan F200 series, the new Motion XT, in the near future. I've also got the Arundel Sound speakers here in my dedicated theater room. I'll be doing a full review of that system as well. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hope you guys have an incredible week. God bless, and we will catch you in the next video.